Welcome back to the show, kids. You are tuned in to Season 2, Episode 1 of Bear Mode, a podcast review of The Bear. Last week, or maybe a few weeks ago, you got to check out the Season 2 preview. This is Season 2, Episode 1. We've done some time traveling since the last time we all hung out together. But it's okay because none of you out there knew the difference. Well, maybe you did. But hopefully you missed us. But it's good to be back in the saddle again. We appreciate everybody tuning in as always. With me today, as always, is Big Tasty. We got Joe Higgins and we got Jay Luft. And I am Tom Clark, of course. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, Season 2, Episode 1. Tasty, let's start with you. What's your thoughts going into this one, man? How pumped up are you for this season?
So I couldn't really remember how this season started. I remember like the big episodes that we've got coming up, and there's a few big ones. Like don't get me wrong, and it's almost put me at a false sense of security because it's very chill. The vibe is much improved. If you compare and contrast, like, and we will surely over the course of the episode, you compare and contrast this episode to Season 1, Episode 1, it's night and day.
Night and day, for sure. Joe, what do you think? Virtually no chaos in this one.
There's still chaos. There's always chaos because of the curse or whatever. But no, it's the fact that it opens with Bear Part 2. Like, you go, all right, okay. So whether or not this was meant to ever be made and it was going to be a one and done or whatever. But yeah, like I said, I've forgotten most of what happens in this because I only watched it once the first time round. And watching this again is a genuine delight. Richie's arc, Tina's, we get more fact. Yeah, it's great. And we get Richie's promises.
Yes.
Which I'd forgotten about.
Jay, speaking of Richie, man, you must have been doing a double take. Like, is this the same guy? Is this a clone? What happened, right? Were you, like, surprised at this?
He'd won me over in the last episode of Season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, the first time you see him in this episode, you're just like, I just want to give him a big hug.
Me too, yeah.
Poor guy. It was... I mean, it wouldn't be Richie without, like, literally 5 minutes into the first episode, them having an existential crisis, but and that was pretty much his entire arc for, like, the last season.
It was.
But, yeah, I thought there was some really, really nice, like, really well-acted scenes from both Richie and Tina in this. It started on a really kind of, like, somber note, didn't it? I think like that and the sort of, like, almost like there's the best way I can describe this episode is it felt like at times there was like a dark cloud moving in. Like, you had the stuff with Marcus with it, I assume it's his mum who's unwell, and anytime Uncle Jimmy's in it's like, oh boy. But yeah, it felt very like calm before the storm, I think is the best way to describe it. Like with you saying, Tasty, that it was quite chill. I think calm before the storm's a lot more of a nicer way to describe, because it's like I was just nervous that
before the storm.
When is everything going wrong?
Well, the fact is that they've truncated it down to 3 months. That's the chaos area.
Well, they almost set the stage in this. So, like I said, it's very chill. Nothing really goes wrong. There's no chaos. There's no like big sort of panic and so. But they do list a number of things. There's a number of milestones, a number of things they have to hit, like sort of certain licensings and tests and.
You got to get a rep who brings another rep who calls a rep.
They sort of like set the stage out for like these might be problems coming down the line.
I'm trying to remember if those are like the beats of the other episodes of all of these hurdles that they have to.
I remember one of them is a pretty big part.
One of them's the HVAC thing, isn't it?
Yeah, the gas suppression.
I was gonna say with Sydney kind of like saying like you've got to get approval from this person. Like they've set themselves this deadline, but quite a lot of the stuff that they need doing is very much out of their hands. Like it's not like.
It's in government hands as well, which is notoriously not the quickest people to
resolve. Government, which means tied up in like
red tape
paperwork for months.
Hermes Conrad on the case. Yeah,
there's quite a lot of like. It's not where it's like, oh yeah, Like we're doing the menu. That's fine. We've set ourselves a deadline. We can work that out because they're going to do that anyway. Like it is all stuff that they're very much out of their hands. Even to the point where there's that bit where it's like, oh yeah, that's something Fat can do, right? And they're like, no, Fat can't do that.
Well, one thing that really sort of like was eye-opening for me was, so obviously they're talking about all these like all this like, so if you want to open, you have to have all the IRS debt cleared, you have to have like all your licensing in place, you have to have all your safety checks in place. In the UK, if you want to open a business, even a food business, you can just open as long as you've got liability insurance. As long as you've got, and then they just sort it all out later. So
later on down the line, they'll come and do your health checks.
Environmental health will come and check you, but they're not going to. They don't do it before you open. They just do it whenever they get around to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
You do get a sticker for your window, like, but, it's it's wild.
Man, explain to me why I still haven't moved to the UK. Goodness sake.
Because it's a festering hellhole and it's falling apart, mate. Don't do it.
I was going to say, if you want to get food poisoning,
do you know where I live in the world? Are you kidding me?
Don't be blinded by the fucking honey trap. That's free healthcare, mate. It's not worth it.
It really isn't. A friend of mine had to pay to have his gallbladder removed because it was going to take 6 months of incredible pain to get it removed on the NHS because he just, So it's not all that good.
Crazy.
Still better than going bankrupt, but yeah.
Well, depending on what side of the fence you're on, kids, you may or may not agree with anything I just said or the guy just said, but things looking pretty bleak here in good old USA.
If you've got this far, you're fairly on board with us, aren't you?
Well,
really?
We'll find out. I guess we'll find out in the wash, right? Kids, let's get to do the thing that y'all came here for. Today, again, as we said before, Season 1, Episode 2. Season 1, Episode 1. This episode is called Beef. The original air date is June 22nd, 2023, directed and written by Christopher Storer. That's the show creator, of course. There are 10 episodes in Season 2, unlike Season 1. So to give you a recap of where we left you last time, let's get into that. Carmy, Sydney, and Richie set out to transform the beef into the bear, turn their chaotic sandwich shop into a fine dining restaurant. As construction delays, mounting debt, and personal struggles threaten to derail their progress, each member of the team is forced to confront their past and redefine what success means. Carmy wrestles with perfectionism and intimacy. Cindy shoulders the pressure of partnership, and Richie begins to search for purpose beyond the grind. Though through tension, growth, and hard-earned lessons, Season 2 charts their journey from survival to ambition, proving that building something great means tearing yourself down first. So that gave you a little bit of a snippet of where we were and where we're going to journey through in Season 2. So a couple little, 4 bits of foreshadowing, but I tried to keep it vague enough where if you haven't watched, if you're watching in real time, it won't give it away to you. The regular cast is here again. Yeah, for sure. The regular cast is back, of course. Jeremy Allen White is Carmy. Ebon Moss-Bachrach, you know him as The Thing, right? But he's back as Richie. Iowa Dibry is here, of course, as Sydney. Lionel Boyce is Marcus. Marcus is getting some big-time moments in Season 2 for sure. Liza Colon-Zayas as Tina. She's freaking awesome. Edwin Lee Gibson is back as Ibrahim. Maddie Matheson as the Great Fack. Abby Elliott as Sugar. Corey Hendricks as Sweeps. And then we've also got a couple other folks here and there and some surprises, I believe, in Season 2 as well.
Oliver Platt as well.
Can't forget Oliver Platt.
All over the place. Yeah. Fack is now an official cast member as well.
He is. Yeah.
And an executive producer, I think, from the series.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You did have that credit.
The first line of my notes is, no chaos, it's wonderful. Because it opens with no chaos. To your guys' point from earlier, Season 1, Episode 1 does not open that way. Season 2, Episode 1 opens with Marcus in the hospital with what we assume is his mom. She appears to be on life support, and he's taking care of her. Then we see him scraping his windshield free from ice. And it's one of those, we compared it to Ted Lasso quite a bit last season, right? But the montages in this show, like Ted, they happen from time to time. We get a view of Chicago, and we hear the show goes on by Bruce Hornsby in the range. We see the original beef sign being taken down. Yes.
Very appropriate song for what's happening. There's also that beautiful shot when you see Marcus scraping his car and he looks up and you can see the Willis Tower, like in the sunrise.
Very good.
And it's the art. Like we talked about it in the last season, but like the photography and the cinematography in this show it's like we take it for granted these days. I think how good TV shows look and are shot nowadays compared to like again. I've just come off watching The Sopranos, which is a great, well-made TV show, but there's nothing as cinematic as this in anything from back in 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. It's been a while.
We've lived too long.
Right? Yeah, so pictures are being removed from the wall. One is a reporter who I can't make out. They're taking those pictures. One is Paul Rudd.
I'm assuming it's the reporter who did the radio announcement thing who sadly died.
That makes sense.
It was like a little tribute to him, but I couldn't make it out. Yeah, one's Paul Rudd.
One's Paul Rudd, because why not, right?
Yeah.
One's Anthony Bourdain, then there's Harold Ramis, of course, which is a callback to the Ecto Cooler episode in season 1, which is nice.
I miss that in restaurants and stuff. Just having pictures of random celebrities who've eaten in there. Like, we should bring that back because.
Yeah, I've been to a few cool places in America that have had that. It's always some of the weirdest like people. I
told you about Maguire's Pizza Bar where they had a signed photo of Jimmy Corkill having a pizza in there.
Is that,
and I was
is
like,
that in Liverpool?
Yeah. We played there years ago.
What's that now?
It's something else now. Yeah.
It's Outpost, is it?
Outpost, yeah.
It's no, Joe. It's not something else. It's the same place with a lick of paint.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
It's the same place
I
with
want
a
that
bit of
picture.
moody lighting. I don't know if they've still got the picture though. To be fair, because it is different owners. They're literally just doing the exact same thing as what
I used to go to a
Maguire's
curry
did.
house in Sheffield that had a picture of Prince Nazim.
Nice. Yeah.
With
The chippy we go to in Morecambe has got a lot of football people on it, but I don't know football people, so I assume they're famous.
I can't think of any places like in Liverpool that have really got that.
Amalia have got that on the wall there.
Have they? I've not been to Amalia.
Yeah.
I want to go.
They had a picture of Jose Enrique there, like trying to eat a massive pizza.
Of course,
I can't think of one place around me that has anything like that. I know what it is, but not one place I can think of actually.
When I went to California, it felt like every other place I went to had that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit more classy. Like in California, it's more like the old school, like here are just like framed pictures.
Old school Hollywood.
Whereas in like
I don't know, mate. I went to a place and had a picture of Kona Crush, just to go for like a wrestling reference there.
In the UK, it's more like here's like a random like D-list celebrity who's
like,
coming
random soap opera star,
and they shaking hands with the owner, and here's like we took like a Polaroid of it or something, you know.
I feel like most places in Liverpool probably got one of them of Andy Carroll.
Yeah. Most kebab shops, anyway.
From when he was like injured at Liverpool as like number 2 to Suarez, just like he didn't have any friends here, so he was like just like buying friends,
palling out with all the boss men. It's all right.
Yeah. I got invited on a night out with him, and it was my friend who went to school with him who hated him, and I was like, "Oh, go on, it'll be funny." He was like, "I'm not going out with that prick." I was like, "Oh," and then there was a picture from the night of him just stood there, passed out in this nightclub. With like a big bouncer stood there like that. I was like, that could have been us. We could have been with him.
The montage continues. We see Sugar in the office. We see Sweeps, Manny, and Angel. Plus, we see Ibrahim. Sydney is dropping trays, and the whole vibe is that things are getting packed up and taken out.
Yeah.
Of course, Carmy's going back and forth with Fact, telling him it's a facelift, not a gut. Fact says it's both, and Tina agrees with him. Sydney asks her how the budget's looking, and Carm says, great, but Fact says, not good, and Tina says, shitty. So they're crunching the numbers as they're cleaning up here, for sure.
This is a brilliant bit of, why is Carmy so bad at maths?
Yes.
Like, he must have costed menus and stuff. Like, but the whole breakdown of it is just a tremendous bit of everyone chiming in, apart from Richie. Where is Richie? I hate, it's one of them, like a toddler. If you can't hear them, they're up to something, you know.
I was thinking it's like a dog. Like if you can't hear the dog, where's the dog? What's the dog doing?
Yeah.
It's I like Tina reminds him that he needs to pay them, and she calls him Jeffrey. I don't know why that still pops me every time. Sweep says she's right about that, Jefferson, which is good. So they just keep it up. Yeah, they can't find Richie, and he calls and he doesn't answer, and he's like, it's weird when he doesn't answer me. And Sid says he's downstairs. And this is where, you know, the Richie we never thought we'd see. The Richie who is defeated, for lack of a better word. Very introspective. Not the same guy from season one.
No.
At all.
Before we get into that, they do offer Sugar the project. We need a project
They do.
manager, and he holds up the pizza box that Carmy's been writing on, and it's just hieroglyphics.
It is.
Even as he's like writing, so he's just plucking numbers out the air.
Yeah.
Like, this will cost this much, and he's not even adding them up properly as he's going on. He's
No.
like always he's out by like 10 grand every time.
Yeah. It totals like 95K, I think. And you're like, you don't even know if that's right, man. How do you even know?
To be fair, like, doesn't Sugar say later in the episode you weren't far off? You just didn't factor this in.
Yeah, you were for plucking facts widely out of the air. You did pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Richie's in the basement with photos on the table. Carmy asks him about the drywall estimate. Richie says it'll be 13. He asks Carm if he ever thinks about purpose. And Carm says, I love you, but I don't have time for this. And Richie just nods. And Carmy is going to walk off. And then he realized, Richie's not being a douche. He's not going to say something smart ass. He's being serious. And he's like, comes back. I love this moment, dude.
Richie looks low.
He does.
It shows the pictures, doesn't it, before it shows Richie?
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of pictures of like Sugar and Carmy and Mikey. But I'm guessing that's Richie's ex-wife and daughter, as well as like
I'm guessing
pictures of a woman and a little girl. So it's probably seeing there's a shit ton of memory, like for Richie especially, because he's been so resistant against like all the change because he wants to honor Mikey's memory. And there's so many memories that are just lying in front of him that
he's
he feels
in the room
on the wall.
The room of dumping, isn't it? Where you just put stuff so everything that's been upstairs at some point that's broken has just been thrown in that room, and that's where he is. Something that isn't needed anymore.
A lot of the stuff that's in there as well is Mikey's stuff. Like there's like the Red Sox stuff, and that gets answered why there's Red Sox stuff there later. And there's a lot of things that you can just by looking at, you can think that's probably Mikey's.
And I think this sort of like hints at what one of the big themes of this season is going to be. So it sort of bridges us from season 1 to season 2. So like season 1, as we discussed, it was all about like overcoming grief and like, you know, dealing with trauma. And it becomes, especially for Richie, about like leaving the past behind and like stepping away from these things. And it gets into now what is probably going to be one of the big things of season 2, which is just the fear of change and the fear of growth and the fear that you're good enough to take the next step. Which I think is what a lot of the characters in this, without spoiling anything, I think is what a lot of the characters in this season sort of go through. That sort of like push into the unknown that's sort of exciting but also really, really terrifying. And for Richie especially at this point, I think it's just all hit him, hasn't it? It's all become really real. That like it's not his world anymore. It's not his, like he talked about it, didn't he? Like when he said about the gentrification of the area, and like it was a metaphor for like him being out of place, and now it's happened to where he works. And it's easy to say, you know, when everyone's happy and opening the cans of tomatoes and finding the money, it's easy to get swept up and go, oh, yeah, we'll build the new restaurant, we'll do this, we'll do that. But when you're stood there in the basement by yourself and you're looking at all the memories, it hits you a lot harder that, oh shit, my life's gonna get real different now, and I'm not in control of this. I think for Richie, he's not in control anymore, and I think that's the real scary thing.
I also think Richie doesn't think there's a place for him.
Yeah.
Because he's gone from going there he is the man with the golden dick to high cuisine. It's highfalutin stuff, and that ain't Richie.
Again, he's scared that he can become. He doesn't trust that he can be good enough to live in this world.
Yeah.
But I think as well with Richie, like he's been almost like plateaued in like he's been at the restaurant for like 15, 20 years. He's literally like it's all he knows, and now it's like, right, you going into the unknown. What's his purpose? Like he literally says, "What's my purpose?" What's his role in that like new restaurant? And obviously, he's like Carmy's not going to get rid of Richie because he's part of the furniture. Let's be honest, he's like
he's family. Even though he's not family, he's still family. And even though he is an asshole, like you can't throw him out.
Yeah, he asked about the shirt instead of the beef, it's the burf. And he says, and Richie very straight faced, like it's a printing mistake, makes a collector's item. And he's still in his rut.
You can buy them, and if I could get them in the UK, I'd have to pay a massive import fee. I'd have done it, but yeah,
That'd be wonderful. Yeah, he talks about his purpose. He says, "I'm trying hard to be on board. I'm reading up about myself, and about all this, trying to understand how I fit in." He talks about a guy who doesn't do anything, doesn't have a personality, and all he does is watch trains. This is the book. Who's got the name of the book that he was reading? Do we know?
The book is called "The Colorless Sakurosaki and His Years of Pilgrimage" by Haruki Murakami. And I haven't read it, but I read the synopsis of it, and it's basically a man who gets like Richie says, he's with a close group of friends who he perceives as better than him, and they ostracize him just one day out of the blue, and he is sad and depressed and doesn't know where he is in the world, and he rebuilds his life and all stuff, and then eventually he goes to find out why, and it turns out that one of the friends accuses him of something, and they got rid of him rather than her because she couldn't take being abandoned by everyone, whereas they knew he could because he was strong. So all those years of him feeling unwanted and unloved, it was actually because he was the only one who was able to take that role on, basically. Which is I mean, that's Richie in a nutshell, kind of. But
yeah,
but I'm probably going to listen to the audiobook of it at some point because it sounds quite interesting.
It does. He says one day out of the blue they drop his ass, and Carm asks why, and Richie says because he's got no purpose. It says, what happens now? Richie says, I don't know. I haven't read that far. Richie says he's 45. He's been there a long time, and Carm knows what he's doing. He loves all this shit. And that one day he's going to wake up and everyone's just going to, cut him out and drop this ass. Carm says, I'm not going to drop this ass. The character development, I've got this for sure, for Richie is just astounding. The guy was a cancer in season 1, depending on the episode, a combination of Roy Kent, Jamie Tart, the worst parts of both guys, honestly. But after exhausting every avenue of resistance he had, doing everything he could to push back and be heard, things were moving ahead, whether he wanted them to or not, as you guys have already said. And this is a different guy. I love that Carm says, this shit's not fun for me. Richie's like, yeah, but you love it. Carm says, well, it doesn't make it fun. Richie says, well, then what is fun for you? And he's like, I have to get back to you on that one.
I also like when he says the guy just watches trains and kind of goes, watches trains doing what? He goes, train stuff.
But I think that's a really important line from Carm as well. So like, it's so easy to just assume that your passion is like people say, like, do a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But I don't think that's always necessarily true because what you love can be really hard, horrible work.
Kitchen work is, yeah, I love cooking, but I hated it.
It's stressful and you're constantly
it's long hours. Yeah, it's not fun. And I think if you do anything that you love as a job, you eventually come to hate it and resent it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that the link between like doing your hobby as a job is just as likely to make you hate your hobby as it is to make you love your job.
Ooh, well said. Yeah.
Never combine the two.
Never. Oh, yeah. Well,
jobby.
Yeah. We see Tina with Sydney in the kitchen. She tells Sid that they're going to need all new pots. And by the way, these pots and pans are wrecked. They are wrecked. See the bottoms of these things?
Cooked in worse.
Have you really? Wow.
Yeah.
She says they're going to have to get the good for the new Jeff. She says Carmy's executive chef. Sid is a new CDC. They're going to need a new Sid. Tina points out that they're burned, and Sid hesitates, but then agrees that they're shitty. Shitty restaurant supply bullshit. She mentions the science using Barkeeper's Friend. Who here has used Barkeeper's Friend before?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I think it's known by something else here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it Renovate?
It's incredibly powerful, like degreaser cleaner. Yeah.
I've used degreaser and I've used Renovate on glasses and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah.
I think over here it's powder form. I think, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah,
could be wrong. Yeah, and
it's fantastic stuff.
It does. It works. Yeah. She starts explaining the intricacies of the pan. Says they're made of stacked steel and there's aluminum core. Marcus walks up and she says, you're an aluminum core. Sid says, what are you, just lurking, waiting for the right time to deliver that line, And they ask how Marcus's mom is doing. He says Chester's got her. So that's a throwback to season 1 as well.
Chester, dude's a bro. Like,
yes.
Absolute bro.
Yeah.
Said it's never fully explained, like, is Chester in love with Marcus?
I think he's just a dude, man.
No, because he's
just
always
got his
kind
back.
of weirdly hanging around, but gets very shy around other people. And like, I don't know. It's just he probably is. He probably likes it. He's probably just a really nice bloke. Like,
I don't know that I ever said this when we did season 1. I don't know how. I don't know why. But when I first saw Chester, I thought, well, maybe they're a couple, because we didn't really establish if Marcus was straight or not. Like, it doesn't matter. But like,
no. But yeah, I
Right?
assumed that all that like he just yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. Doesn't matter.
You get the feeling they've been friends for a long time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like,
For
like,
sure.
like Chester's one of those guys. You're like Marcus's mum's probably like his second mum.
Yeah.
Sid
Guy
tells
shows
Marcus,
up with that massive swatch of colours, like just because Marcus asked him to. I
They-
ain't looking that in time.
They've had so many dinners at each other's houses. They've spent so much time around them kitchen tables. Like they're like brothers, aren't they? They're like proper yeah.
and got grilled by Sid in season 1. Who are you again? I'm sorry. Like, why are you in the kitchen? Yeah.
Oh,
Chester, show some respect to Chester.
Yes. She tells Marcus, if you need anything, he's like, yeah, I know. And then there's this real awkward moment, not too awkward, but where it's kind of like one wants to say something, but they don't. They kind of leave it hanging. And I love that, I don't want to give anything away to Jay here, but I love that to this point, it's like, I wonder, but then like,
I genuinely
they both
thought-
walk out and they're having dinner together. So
yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely thought Tina was going to go, ooh.
Yeah, something like that. We get the arrival of Fack in season 2, everybody.
oh, like guy.
He's singing the Ball Breaker song, right?
Which is it the song or is it just a song he's made
I
up?
think he's made that up.
Has
Yeah.
he made it up? I thought it was from the game. That's
I
funny.
love the way he's talking to the machine. He's like, we're gonna find you a new
live in
home,
my house.
and that new
gonna be
home is
my
my house.
He kisses it too.
So going back to what might be the case is, so obviously that's an 80s style arcade machine. That's not going to have voice, like a voice track on the sound. Like it'll have blips and bloops. So it might have a theme song that'll have like music, and he might have just put words to that.
That's it. There you go.
Blips and
Yeah.
I think there is a synthesized Ball Breakers. Like,
Yeah,
when
but it's
they
not gonna
show
have-
up.
it's not gonna have a
It's not gonna have
full
full
vocal.
speech. No,
No.
it's not Mad
No.
Dog McCree. No,
It's not DDR.
there's a reference.
Well done. Yeah, singing a lot, just making up words to the song. That makes more sense. Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I'm gonna have to
I'm
go back.
glad
and
the Ball
listen.
Breakers machine found a loving home in Fack's house. Basically,
Listen to that, the first episode with the theme tune for the Ball Breakers, and see if it is Fack's little jingle that
Yes.
he's made up.
Sweeps is trying to take down the menu from the wall, and Abraham's just kind of hanging out. He's like, "No, I got it. I don't need any help. I'm good." And then like the whole thing just falls, and he's like, "Well, that was much easier." I'm like, "Turn around and help the man. What are you doing over there?"
I was gonna say Ibrahim does fuck all in this episode.
Nothing. He does
All he
nothing.
does is just
Again,
stand there.
I think he has. Is there a place for me here now? Like, I think that's genuinely because I think when they're all wrapping stuff up earlier on, he's just stood staring at something in the kitchen. I can't remember what it was.
I think more than anyone else as well, he's got like the lack of confidence and the fear about taking that next step, hasn't he? And
He's the
and
oldest
it's
one there, and yeah,
They-
like,
they
sort
say
of
he's
reference as well.
he's gotta
Yeah, they're
take
saying later
that-
he's the only one who's not like
training.
certified or something.
yeah.
And he needs to get recertified, which maybe that'll be a thing later. Who knows?
I
Ooh.
imagine it probably will be if he's.
It's dead. Well, again, in the UK, it's dead easy. You can do it on a tablet.
But also as well, I feel like because like he says to Marcus later in the episode about how quiet it is, I feel like he's someone who kind of like just enjoys like the sort of the grind of it all and the chaos a little bit more than the actual like still moments. Kind of like Carmy.
We've got Handshake Drugs by Wilco is playing during this montage. And we see Marcus gathering his books, Sid almost running into Richie. You notice that Sid and Richie, every time that you see them like getting closer to, you can hear them yelling corner as they come around the corner. So they're, the knife and everything and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
they've learned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the first time they do it, there's like that Sydney kind of like freezes up and Richie's like, "Go on, just go past."
Yeah, Richie's almost polite to her.
He is defeated. I've got that here. He just looks lost, like he's a sad
He's not
puppy.
doing anything. He's just wandering
No.
around aimlessly, like a ghost around the ruins of his creation. Yeah.
Sugar's in the office, and Carmy asked her about the great idea they had that they didn't write down. You ever do that? You ever come up with something great?
Time.
All the time.
I was looking for something on my phone. Sometimes if I'm mobile, I'll throw something in the notes app on my phone, And I'm going, where is it? It's gone. I have no idea.
Yeah, but then you find it, and it's just like
It's 3 words and you just
gibberish. Yeah,
It's
Means
just
nothing.
it's the postcard that Homer wrote to Marge about the pretzels.
so fuck, get out of here. Yeah,
Oh, that's good. Yeah, Sugar's in the office and Carm asks her about the great idea, as we said. She tells him that he's missing an IRS step. They're on a payment plan, he says, but the new business license can't be granted, as you guys said earlier, until the old debt is caught up. She mentions a project manager position to him, and Sydney comes in. She tells him that gas is off until the hoods and overheads pass a new fire suppression test. Carm says it sounds like a fact, who immediately comes in and then walks back out.
I love that. Like the way he just walks in with a big grin on his face and they go, no, and he goes, oh.
it's like Beetlejuice. If you say his name once, he appears.
It's just how happy he looks when he walks in.
She mentions the food certification. As you guys said, Abraham needs to renew it, and Richie's never done it. I had to take food certification here. I'm going to ask you guys in a second. It's a scam here. Don't know how it is there. It's a scam here because what we were first told was, hey, company's going to start doing this food certification thing. And with this state that we're in here, what we do is you get those and it adds points to your health inspection. And I'm like, that sounds pretty good. And then I'm thinking about it going, who's to say the health inspector won't just grade you a couple points lower because they know you have that food safety, so they can just add the points in later. And like, and then all of a sudden it became, well, now if you don't have food safety inspection, they deduct points. And I'm like, wait a minute. I thought it was optional. Now, okay. What do you guys have over there that's the equivalent? Do you?
So our health inspection it's not really a points thing. It's not like a mark that you have to hit. It's graded on like 3 main topics. It's practical. So they're going to say, like, they're going to walk around and be like, is the place clean? Is anyone using like the food wash thing to wash their hands in? Is all the food labeled and dated in the fridge? Stuff like that. It's paperwork. So record keeping, so your fridge temperature's done, your sort of 4 weekly checks done, is everything sort of marked down that needs to be marked down, and then it's something called confidence in management. So they'll literally just, whoever is the designated supervisor, they'll talk to them and literally they'll ask you questions like, so what's your reheat temperature for safely reheating food and this and that. And so if you've done, so I've done something called I'm sure Joe knows all about this. I've done something called a food hygiene, a level 2 food hygiene, which basically means I have to sit there for like 3 hours and go through like an online course where you look at like videos and then you click on like very, very easy questions, and then at the end you get a certificate.
Multiple choice questions. Yes.
And then you get a certificate to say you've done it. So it literally teaches you like what to use to clean dishes, what safe temperatures, how long you can hold hot food for, stuff like that. How to take a delivery and check that it's still frozen and stuff like that. All really basic stuff. But so having that is just something I can show the inspectors if they turn up. Okay, look, I've done this. I'm in charge. This is my certification. You can ask me questions about safe working practice, and I can then tell you.
Mm. Yeah. So you don't like. So does it renew every year? How does that work?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have an expiration, but it has a date that it was awarded. So if it's particularly old, so I did one like 10 years ago, and then I did one like last year. So I just like re-upped it for like the place I'm currently working in.
I think I have to do mine every 3 years.
It was every 3 years here.
When I was in Tesco, it was every 3 years.
But then also like it was for kitchen staff, but then we also had the waiting staff do it as well. It's just good practice, but yeah. Also, because
odds are the one day that you're off is the day that they're going to turn up, and you're not going to be there to answer the questions. So whichever minion is currently in charge on that day will then be asked very technical questions they won't know the answers to.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, this is the bit where Sid gets into the explanation about the reps, and it takes forever.
One thing I will say before that, when they mention about the food thing. When they say Richie hasn't got it, Sid's instantly on like Richie's back. Like, well, what's Richie even going to do here? And then it's like, that's not really fair, is it? I mean, it's true, but it's also not fair. Like, for all she knows, like Richie could take that and like end up becoming like a really good chef. But
can you honestly imagine Richie sitting down off his own bat to do a 2-day course, whatever the hell it is?
No, but if he's told he's got to do it, so he can keep his job and he's worrying about pay.
Yeah, but when he was in charge, he was telling him to do that.
That's true. No, but also, I mean, like now. But like,
now. Like, Carmy can make him do it, but he was never going to make himself do it. When
but she's very like negative about the idea of Richie doing it now. is what I mean. Like it's not like the idea that Richie hasn't done it. It's the idea of, well, if Richie does it, what's he even going to do?
Yeah, what's the point in Richie doing
like,
it?
Yeah, like literally, she's dismissive of the idea, which I'm sure knowing her relationship with Richie is just the way she is anyway about it. But I'm sure it's also going to probably be foreshadowing a little bit of friction between the two because let's face it, they're always at each other's throats.
Hard to believe you can get worse than stabbing somebody, but we'll find out together.
But when they opened the tomatoes, Richie was the first one to invite her back in.
Yeah.
He was.
So, I just think I don't think they know where they stand with each other.
That's true.
Honestly, in this episode, it felt kind of like Richie's still being Richie, but he's trying to
not be.
He's trying to be a little bit more like
this next bit where he comes in.
Yeah,
he's trying to be a bit more accommodating, whereas she's just like back against the wall as soon as he's around, sort of thing.
Speaking of the wall, nice segue, Jay. She leans on the wall and her hand goes straight through it, right through the drywall. Marcus comes in and says, "What happened?" It's like, "I fell through the wall." And he's like, "Damn, you got strong." That's a great line. I don't know why it's so good. Carm wonders what kind of insurance coverage they have for people falling through the fucking wall, which is another good line. By the way, can we say the writing all the time with this show? But this episode is quick, the banter, it's witty, it's awesome. I love it, man.
And it all feels really natural as well. Like it does.
But it's nice and light as well. It's like pithy, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
Like everyone's quipping a bit, and it's like, oh, everyone's having fun. It's like good times.
Carmy says about the insurance, and then Sugar's response is, well, the insurance is make sure people don't fall through the fucking wall. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's fair.
But then this whole bit when Richie comes in, it's like, what have you done to the picture? Why is there a hole behind the picture? And what is it?
Jewish lightning.
Jewish lightning. And Sydney immediately goes, can we add that to the list? And he's like, I haven't said R or G all week. And I'm like, God, what's R and G?
Like he counts himself down, doesn't he, to calm down, doesn't he? Like he
does.
Like, yeah.
Like I think the thing with Richie is, like, obviously we know he's got like a lot of anxiety, and like that's why he's on Xanax, and that because of like his generation, the kind of guy he is, he's happy to just pop a pill and not talk about it, as opposed to like addressing the issue that everyone else can see. So him doing that, I feel like that it's almost like he's kind of like, you can see he's trying to like turn a corner with it.
He's been reading his self-help books, hasn't he? Like
he has, big time. Yeah, they the poster hanging over the hole, of course, is Fenway Park in Boston, and he's explaining why it means something. You know, this was Mikey's favorite team, and Sugar's like, "Hey,
favorite lineup." Not
yes,
his favorite team, his favorite actual lineup of.
That's
so
right.
Which is odd because like Mikey's obviously so we see a few hints here. So Mikey's a Red Sox fan because he loves this lineup, and there's a Red Sox cup in the basement downstairs.
Yeah.
Which is odd because Richie's like a hardcore Cubs fan.
He is.
And obviously these guys were so close, and like obviously they had this massive divide in like something so fundamental to like male bonding in sports, which is it's just a weird little detail that somehow Mikey ended up being a Red Sox fan even though he's from Chicago, like Red Sox from Boston. It's not an unusual thing.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, the GNR, he's like, I haven't said GNR in over a week, and effort personal growth. I haven't said gay or retarded in over a week. Jewish lightning is when you and I like Carm's like trying to make him get to the point. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's get to the point.
But I like the fact that he's gone, well, Sydney's gone, well, can you not say those two words then? He's like, okay then, if I must.
Yeah, she says the explanation of Jewish lightning does cement it as something that we shouldn't say. Sugar agrees. Richie says the poster is salvageable. Tina checks in on Sydney. By the way, what a change in Tina. Can we all agree? Holy Lord. She's so awesome. You're almost thinking, is she up to something? Like she's not. But right, because she's so over the top, bubbly, and happy.
Well, I think she's finally taken pride in what she does. Like,
yes,
she was when we first meet Tina, it was very much this is just a job to make ends meet. And then as soon as like they're starting to get like positive reinforcement and she's getting like paid compliments and actual support and not people just like giving a shit all the time. And you can see it's gradually like got to a point where now she's very much like almost I don't want to say hero worship, but you can see she looks up to Sydney.
She does. Yeah. Carm reminds Sydney they've got to take it step by step. And he remembers the idea. He's got it. It's in the crawl space. He asks Richie to go get it. You can hear Richie from the next room say, "I'm on the operating table." And Carm says, "Purpose, chef." We hear Richie say, "Good point, chef." Like, you could tell Richie do your taxes at this point, or he'd try. Whatever you want to do, he'll do it. You know what I mean? Like,
just to point out as well that the Jewish lightning thing is at some point Mikey, I think he says Mikey, while possibly on something, decided to burn the place down rather than continue with it. Because he thought there might be some insurance money. So he wasn't even sure if they were insured.
Wasn't even sure. Isn't that funny? Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, we'll just burn it down and then we'll see if we get paid out.
We'll see if we paid the premiums. I can't remember.
Call the guy, see if we got some money. We're not sure. Yeah. This is crazy. When Richie says, "Good point," Carm looks at Sugar and says, "So there's a hole in the wall." She's like, "Yeah, I heard that." The banter between these two is better because, she was very upset with him in season 1. He wasn't talking to her. He was shutting her out. So now you feel like they've come back together which is nice. He tells her to keep thinking about it, meaning the job. She thinks he means the hole, but he's talking about project manager. I love this back and forth. He tells her that there's not enough money. She says, "Where do you get more?" Suddenly, an alarm is going off, and Carm isn't even selling it. He looks at her and says, "Is that in my head?" Best line ever. And he's serious.
But he's had all those flashbacks. Well,
I was going to say, he's used
the night walking,
the chaos, isn't he?
Yeah, right.
Like he embraces the chaos. So for him, it's just more loud noise.
It's true, yeah. Boy, that's going to keep playing. Let me tell you, because the next scene, we don't know who they're talking to, but we see. Yes, Carmy, Sugar, and Sid. And Sugar is overly nice. She's smiling. She's professional. And they're making their case about this new restaurant. They're all very, above board, like they're in a set, like a pitch meeting,
Well, there's a really nice little detail where Sugar and Sid have both got earplugs in, and Carmy's just not. It's like,
that's true. Yeah.
Man just really just isn't fazed by it at all.
That's true. We finally see who they're talking to, and it's Uncle Jimmy who yells, "Richard, could you turn that fucking thing off, please?"
So fucking angry about
He's never going to stop with the Richard, is he? He's like, I love that the whole time Oliver Platt's just like this with his arms folded, like, what am I doing here? What is this crap? Like the whole time. It's so good. So good. He's
such a good character.
Right? He wants to know what's going on as they're talking. The alarm is, did you notice the alarm changed as it was going?
Yeah.
Like it becomes different along the way. And you're like, oh my God, this thing.
I think that's just
that's just a thing alarms do to like make sure you don't kind of like, just to make sure you don't basically just zone out and get used to the sound.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jimmy is confused. His arms are folded. He's like, what's going on? What are we doing here? And Carm says, Mikey was telling you the truth. I don't know where all this came from. He says, Mikey was telling you the truth. He goes, about the petting zoo? What? No. Mini golf? No. Like, what was Mikey talking about to begin with? Do you know what I mean? Bit different business ideas? I don't know.
They've got a bit of a area out the back for a world's smallest petting zoo, I guess.
To be fair, they're like they're kind of talking about like this will be our first unit is what they're saying, isn't it? Our first location.
Yeah.
And then he's like, Mikey was telling the truth, and he's like, what do you mean? He's like, he was planning on franchising.
Yep.
And then basically Carmy just admits to Cicero, oh yeah, by the way, Mikey's also been like ferreting away all this money that you've been giving him.
We found all your money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, you kind of knew this was coming. It had to come in this episode, or at least eventually. Right?
I thought if it wasn't in this episode, it would have been in the next one, because let's face it, if they're literally gutting and refurbishing the place and they owe Cicero all this money, that there isn't a chance in hell he's not going to be like, well, where'd you get all the money, guys?
A minute, yeah.
So I'm surprised they actually just head on said to him, oh yeah, by the way, Mikey robbed you, and now we want to steal
Yes.
we want to borrow like 500 grand off you as well.
My God, yeah, ask him for an additional 500K because he's like, motherfucker didn't put it in the bank, did he? He's like, no, he definitely did put it in the bank. And he takes a long pause, and Jimmy goes, oh God, thank Christ.
Thank God.
Like he's
God
so
for
happy.
that. Yeah, because you know it's not above board money. Like, if anything, he was using the beef to wash it, probably.
But also, like the other thing as well, like which I kind of took from it was him realizing that they found it means he knows that Mikey didn't spend it on drugs.
Yeah.
Which is probably like the other side, like because as much as Cicero's a slime ball, like he still cares about these people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Like he still speaks very fondly of Mikey whenever like he talks about him. It's just obviously like at the same time he's like, well, he did keep borrowing money off me to keep this place alive.
Because that's what Mikey's telling him, that I'm in debt. I got to pay the vendors. I got to do this. I got to do that. Yeah.
KBL.
KBL. Kalinowski, which is, of course, Uncle Jimmy. Berzado is the B for Carm. And Uncle Lee Lane. Carm scoffs and says, Sugar says it's Uncle Lee Lane. Carm scoffs and says, it's not our uncle. Sugar says, well, Richie's not your cousin. And you hear Richie
from the next room heard
and resented.
It's
great.
So Richie's best lines in this episode come from him shouting it from the other room.
Right, yeah.
Like when he's fucking with the alarm earlier on.
Oh, it's when he's on the phone giving them the password.
Yeah.
Go fast boats mojito, one word. He's like one word. Yeah. Yeah, he's got him on there. Jimmy's like, let me get this straight. So you're not giving me it's great.
300 grand.
So you're
back.
not giving me 300K back. By the way, wasn't it 335,000, 338,000?
335, I think.
I thought so.
They worked off $3,000 at the kid's birthday, didn't they?
Yeah, I feel like they established like is it 880K that they'll end up owing him in total.
Well, he says, but you want an additional 500K, and Carm says, yes, that sounds correct.
Well, it's interesting because he kind of goes through the three of them, doesn't he? He goes, how many times do you ask me for money? And he goes, 0. How many times are you? 0. How many times are you? 0. Why the fuck should I do this when you already owe me money?
Yeah.
But basically he goes, well, what was it? Give us 18 months. And if we haven't paid you back, as Sugar puts it, an extortionate interest rate as well. You can have the building the lot. He goes, it's worth 9 million. And he goes, 2 million.
2 million. Yeah. Yeah.
But even then, Carmy's like, but
I can only sell it to certain people because there's bodies buried here. I mean, there's not bodies buried here.
But either way, like Carmy, like kind of like sells it to him. Basically, you're gonna give us that money, and it's like a win-win for you. Like either you get a thriving business that you're a partner in, and you're gonna be able to like make money off, or you're gonna be getting this unit for basically to then sell for 2 million when you've put in 800K.
See, you're still $1 million up.
Yeah, you're still like 1.2 up.
Maybe my math sucks, but as I'm watching this back, I'm thinking, you're going to pay 800 grand in 18 months. You still have to pay your employees, insurance, utilities.
Tom says he's already put money aside for the pay from somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm assuming from that 300 grand.
Yeah, but over 18
it's still
months?
Technically part of that. It's undoable.
It's
what's your GP, like 30% maybe?
Maybe.
On that, I don't know because they're going high end, aren't they? So
Sugar says they can make it back in 8 months in the next scene. They can turn a profit within 8 months.
Yes.
Someone do the math. What is that?
It's a lot.
I mean, it's 100 grand a month, right? That's 100 grand a month if it's 8 months.
Based on the size of that restaurant.
To be fair, like a high-end restaurant, like it is doable. Like
based on the size of that restaurant, and they're only going to be doing 1-2 sittings a night.
Don't know. It depends on the turnover, doesn't it? I guess like if there's a lot of covers, then it's doable. But then it depends, because like I've worked in like pubs where they've been relatively busy on like a weekend, but
assuming 30% GP, they'd have to, after all costs, they'd have to take 33 grand a week,
which is doable. Like, well,
I've just opening restaurant,
but that's all the profit goes strictly into paying back Cicero. That's all their profit.
Well,
yes.
So I've worked in pubs where like they've been busy of a weekend and steady through the week, and they've took like 20 a week, and that's not as high a markup as what this place is going to be doing.
Nah, I think this will be a lower markup because, like, well, as we find out later, no spoilers, but don't forget, pubs, cheap ingredients, cheap things. This is like expensive shit.
Yeah.
This is like expensive ingredients. It's going to be a change in menu. It's going to be high end wine. It's going to be high end food. It's going to be like Michelin star restaurants, and they're aiming for a star. Michelin star restaurants are notoriously shit at making profit.
Because what was it? You earned a star. I maintained a star. Retained. Sorry, that was it. And just like, it's the same as getting one. It really isn't.
It really isn't. Yeah, Carm doesn't want anything to do with the star business at all.
So this place needs to make nearly $5,000 a night. How many settings have they got? How many times they turn?
Based on the size of that room.
Is that room going to be the restaurant then? Just that room?
It's the room where they normally had family. From what I remember.
Okay. So that is fucking tiny, Jesus.
I think a bit more like they knock some walls through stuff. It all makes sense, but it's about 30 covers.
So you got 25 covers. That's you need an average check per person of $190.
That's a lot.
There
again, if you're getting nice wine in, wine's where your money is.
But that's a lot of beef sandwiches.
The markup in alcohol is tremendous, from what I understand. Right?
Yeah,
it's always
huge.
It
depends if it's like a normal restaurant. Your wine's marked up to Billio. If you're buying high end, fancy, then your wine is that expensive.
I think the whole point of this like situation here is that Carmy just picked as he has done all episode, just picked a number out of the sky, and now they're kind of fucked because 18 months is not enough time to pay that money back.
No.
Well, they
especially they're not going to be open, potentially not open for the first 6 months.
Yeah, well, like Sugar says, doesn't she, in the next scene as well? Like 6 months at an insane rate.
Yeah, so if they absolutely smash it, 6 months to get open, that gives them 12 months to make all that money back, and it's going to take them 8 months to actually get out of the debt that they were in to start the restaurant and just get into profit. So they've only got 4 months then to make 300 or 800 grand.
God, mighty dude. This is a lot of times on other podcasts like Tom Clark's 6M podcast, we'll talk about comic book science. This is TV math right here. Do you know what I mean?
This is just Carmy panicking and like just pulling a number out of the air and going 18 months.
Yeah, at least they address it here though. This is the whole point of this, is that Carmy did fuck this really hard. And it's like, no, Carmy, you put everyone in
even 2 years would have been like better.
Yeah, for sure.
If you could show Cicero that it's working, he'd be less inclined.
So that's why Jimmy immediately took this deal, because it's free money, basically.
Yeah,
it is.
He's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing as well. Carmy's hoping that he can kind of like renegotiate this with Cicero, but
nah, mate, you've said it now.
But but Cicero doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's going to negotiate this kind of. But the other side of that as well is that when he refers to himself as a good partner, like you can see he's clearly piqued his interest, and
because
it's almost like he, like, as you say, it's free money, but it's almost like he's kind of the mindset of this could be something special.
This could work.
This could be something really good.
If anyone's going to make it work, it's going to be these three. Everyone else is kind of an idiot, but these three have got something here, I think. But it doesn't matter, because like Tasty said, like even if it fails, he's got the land.
Yeah.
By the way, in the midst of all this happening, the alarm finally stops, so you can hear Richie. You can hear Richie yell, "Yeah, bitch!" So good. He's so great in this episode.
How did he know the crawl space was alarmed?
I left that out, didn't I? Yeah. By the way, who does alarm a crawl space? I've never even heard of that.
So that was Carmy's big idea that he forgot to write down, was to get the paint out of the crawl space.
That was it.
It's
Yeah.
just not an idea. That's just remembering where the paint is.
Yeah. We threw that in. I just didn't remember. I've never even heard of something like that. Why would you put an alarm in a crawl space?
I guess if someone was trying to break in through the roof.
Yeah, they could.
That's
People in the walls into your building, I guess. But
You seen that new Channing Tatum film? That's a whole thing.
no,
I have not.
Dude,
I know what you're talking about.
It's about a real life dude who like broke into a Toys R Us and like lived in the ceiling or something.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
film?
Yeah.
I remember the Japanese lady that was living in someone's cupboard in his flat.
No, he was on the lam basically, so he broke into a shop and hid in the roof and then pretended to just work there for like a year apparently.
That is
It's based on a real thing that happened in America.
Of course,
obviously.
yeah.
Look at what one idiot did in America.
Well, there you go. I told y'all earlier, didn't I? Weird stuff over here. This is the next scene you guys have been referencing. They're at the table brainstorming how long it's going to take to make a profit, and they're going back and forth on this. And Sugar mentions, well, that's a C, or either Sugar or Sid mentioned, well, that's a CP. And he goes, what? It's a Carmy problem.
So based on these last two scenes, can we now please make the assumption that Carmy can never be trusted with numbers and it should all be done by Sugar? Because like Carmy, like literally from earlier in the show, he pulls all them pizza box numbers out of his ass. He drops them in shit with Cicero with this 18-month bullshit. And then Sugar within 5 minutes has gone, oh yeah, I've run the numbers. This is how long it's going to take to turn the profit.
I think that's why, like, the kind of like from the get-go of this episode, they're trying to establish that Carmy's like the chef. He's like the
visionary.
He's like the food brain.
And this is why you don't get creative with
Sugar
the numbers.
is the actual brains.
If you need someone to do a menu and make a special and make the menu absolutely pop, Carmy's your guy. If you need someone to like make sure that you don't go bust buying too many paper towels, I think it's got to be Sugar on this one.
Yeah.
You notice how everyone's
costed a menu though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but costing the menu is different to like costing a business. You don't.
I guess
you don't have to worry about like the permits and like the wages and like.
Yeah, you just got. Yeah, I guess.
Costing a menu, like at the end of the day, a lot of the time it's the head chef or the executive chef who is then reporting back to like the person who's actually bankrolling it.
Yeah, and you'll just say, all right, this dish cost us £12 to make. All right, Sam will sell for 25.
Yeah, I was going to say your markups on it are going to be astronomical anyway, aren't they?
Well, you'll just tell the owner what it costs to make the dish, and then they'll go, all right, okay, I'll set the price on the menu.
Double it and add a couple of quid on. Yeah.
Or here's our formula. Yeah, here's our GP formula.
Or like
run through the system.
Yeah, or can we find this like can we do it with a cheaper version of that ingredient, or can we? Is there a way to not cut corners, but like, is there a way to make it like more?
We need all these ingredients in there.
Yeah, which again, like that's why Carmy needs someone as the business brain. Richie wasn't it, because Richie just shouted him and tells him to stop changing things. And Sugar has been reluctantly like against the idea, but obviously is getting pulled more and more into it.
Well, as Carmy says, we're going to need to get people, because what is it? It's difficult to find people who want to learn, and even more difficult to find people who give a crap.
You notice as they're all talking, Richie's just over by himself, not contributing a word. I mean,
he's a broken man.
He is.
Richie's gone back to that episode where it shows the flashback of like Mikey, like sort of like holding court, and Richie's just like really like underconfident, just like yeah, good on Mikey sort of thing. And Richie's kind of gone back to that, almost like he's almost like a child the way he's kind of done it. Where Richie's
not the alpha anymore. He's
like
he's not in charge anymore. He's not the main guy. So he's just like you say, he becomes a more passive. He's become like placid.
Wallflower.
I think the thing with Richie is that in the first season he was very much trying to fill Mikey's shoes.
Yes,
and was resentful that Carmy was the person who was doing it. Whereas now that he realizes that Carmy's pretty much all he's got, and he just wants to see the place kind of do well to honor Mikey, as opposed to this has to be like remain the same and be a memorial to Mikey.
To him, yeah.
He's very. I'd say he's passive in the sense that he's like, I don't want to kick the apple cart. I just want to like see where this goes and be supportive, as opposed to I was being like a bullheaded dickhead in the first season. but obviously he still needs someone with that big personality to kind of like sort of anchor him in. He's not got that at the moment, so, and that's why he's the way he is, where he's like quite sort of sheepish almost.
Yeah. Tina goes to leave and compliments Sid on the barkeeper's friend. Did a great job on the pots and pans. Sydney chases her outside the restaurant. She's rambling, talking about training. This place is a hellhole. And she ends up asking Tina if she's interested in being her Sue. And she's like, if you want to be my Jeff or whatever.
Well, she says, I'm just talking about, as we were talking before about that. And Tina goes, I'll have a think, but I don't know anyone. And it's like, no, you.
Yeah.
And the slow
the way she acted this
smile creeping onto her face is an absolute delight.
It's fantastic. It's a great moment. She picks her up.
You're very strong. Second time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Man, Tina and Richie both. Holy Lord. Richie for different reasons, but
Richie for different things, but Tina because she's been seen. She's been seen and recognized for what she does. And it's I think the more we find out about Tina, the more you go, oh, okay, all of this makes sense.
I think the thing that's like really well acted is the gratitude. Like, so, like you can see
shock.
Just,
I think
shock, but then gratitude that she's actually being given an opportunity. Because, as I say, she seems like she's very much like she's been there for forever. She's just like part of the furniture. She kind of like Richie plateaued, and whereas Richie doesn't know what his purpose is, Tina's now been given a shit ton of purpose, and it's like it's not going to be easy. You got to do a lot of learning, you got to do a lot of training, but I want you to do it.
I want you to do it. Yeah. And it's that confidence in her that's I think no one's ever shown her that before.
That's the big thing for Tina. Someone's like believing in it. Someone's giving her the chance now, the opportunity. As I say, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tricky. And obviously we're going to experience that in the series.
But yeah, no, it's a lovely moment.
Yeah.
Jay, we knew this was coming, but you didn't. Were you surprised by this coming?
Oh, I got very emotional watching this scene.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd forgotten most of this season entirely.
Every action was brilliant. Like the whole thing of like disbelief to gratitude to just a joy.
And not crying, but crying.
It was done in like about 3 seconds. It was like it was so really well done.
The many faces of Tina, right?
Yeah.
Marcus is on the phone checking on his mom. Abraham walks up and says, "Don't think I've ever heard it be this quiet in here." Which I'm like, yeah, me too. It's crazy. Another montage.
Can I just point out as well when he's talking to Chester on the phone?
Yeah,
that's right.
Chester's DVRing her favorite shows for her, so she can watch them later.
Yeah. Didn't we get a bit in season 1 about DVRing shows between the two of those guys? I think.
It was a cookery show or something.
Was it? I thought it
was
like Next Top Model or something, wasn't it?
Wasn't it The Bachelor?
It was some reality.
It was some reality show, yeah, which they obviously just like to watch together.
It was like, do you want me to DVR? It's like, yeah, but don't spoil it for me.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Again, Chester's just a dude, man. He's just a fucking bro.
I mean, that's a lovely thing to do for someone.
I feel like Chester's Marcus is Richie in the sense that he's like just got no one else, and he's just like, please don't leave me.
He's his fac, maybe. I don't know. Because he's a good dude.
Chester's up to it every night. You know he is. Yeah.
Another montage here. This time we got Transcendental Blues by Steve Earle. Steve Earle's a great musician, by the way. Is playing, and Richie is hanging the Fenway poster back up. I don't know why this got me, but there's a pic of Jesus with a lamb on the floor. It's just on the floor.
I didn't understand. Why is he taped the other? If he'd have taped it from the back, it would have looked better.
Right?
Because it's Richie and he's...
I know it's because it's Richie.
He's a lord upon himself.
He's doing surgery.
So based on like sort of things that happen later in the season and things I just know from watching American television, I think that little thing of Jesus, I think that might be like the service, the prayer card from Mikey's funeral.
Oh. Because it does go to...
it's a thing they give out at funerals with the hymns on or something, or the prayers on for the service. And like people take them away as like mementos of the service and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's. I mean, depending on what service you're at, they'll do it. But like, I don't ever keep those things. If it's like a grandparent or something, or maybe. But it's like, what am I going to do with this?
But the theme in this, like, there's a little undercurrent theme, and like, obviously it was all the way through season 1. It's just like it's about like sort of trying to thread the needle of sort of staying respectful to the memory of Mikey while also carrying on with the renovation of the restaurant and sort of it's balance. It's the balance, isn't it, between finding like the necessary things that need to move forward and also being respectful of keeping the things that still remind you of why you're there. And that's what Richie's really struggling with, I think, at this point, and that's what that shows. He's like he's the one who's like really struggling to let Mikey's presence leave the building.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't the next shot as well the framed thing of Mikey's letter to
Mikey's
Carmy?
last note? Yeah,
Like literally the next shot after that Jesus thing is that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
which
really,
again just proves that this is the right thing to do. This is what Mikey wanted them to do. He wanted them to.
That's what the plan all along was.
I mean, Cicero, Carmy says to Cicero back when they have that meeting, he says Mikey's plan was to franchise the beef and for me and him to open a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like he didn't want the beef to be the beef forever. He wanted it to. We're going to spin that off, like that can make the money, and like this is the passion project. This is what we want to do.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we see that the note there, and then Sugar's leaving. Carm calls her Bear. Did you guys pick up on that?
Yeah.
I was like, that's interesting. I wonder if it was sort of I don't
Sugar
know.
Bear.
Isn't it a play off of the surname?
It's a play off both their surnames, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
But it's always been what Sugar's called. You've only ever really heard Sugar called Carmy.
Right. That's what I was
I
thinking.
think someone has referred to her as Sugar Bear before as well, though.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Sia really wants her to take the project manager gig, and Carm feels weird that they're leaving so early. But there's nothing
I love this.
to do.
It's just Sydney and Carmy just like because they're both chefs. They're both used to like finishing at midnight.
Yes.
They're both just like
What happens at 7 o'clock
you
at
can
night?
see that they're both sort of playing chicken with the other, saying like, "Should we go and get a drink or something?"
Should
Like,
we
they
do
both,
something?
I think they both want to have a plan, but neither of them want to like commit to anything. And like they're both sort of like fishing, but like neither of them are biting. And they just sort of like amble around each other for like 30 seconds, and they're like, "All right, we'll see you tomorrow then," and they just go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think though, like as well, like for Carmy, because he's like, because that's pretty much been his life for like years. It's kind of shown where then the next scene goes to like him in his flat, and it's like he literally hasn't got a clue what to do outside work. Like because he lives and breathes work, he
doesn't have a life outside of work.
Does not know what he's got, what he can do.
Yeah, he's got a work board, like a planning board, where he's got a bunch of notes on it.
He's sat there just playing with his knife, isn't he? Just looking at
because Sydney says to Carm before they leave, it's like, well, we can't do anything now until the permits come in. So like,
there's only so much paperwork. Yeah,
we've got to go home. Basically, we can't.
I mean, they
do
can
here.
redecorate. That's not true.
They got the paint out of crawl space. Come on, what's?
Yeah, you got the paint. What's up?
They've got a clean, deep clean. As
Yeah.
Sydney refers to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, what's the point in cleaning if they're going to redecorate? Like, they might as well.
That kitchen needs.
Oh no, I say, what's the point in
like...
clean? What's the point in doing a full deep clean, redecorate, and then have to do another deep clean?
I don't even know I don't know if they've got plans for what the dining room's going to look like yet. To be honest,
that's it.
I don't know how much time has passed between Tomatoes and this. It would appear that it's days.
Yeah, Carmen said like when he's like talking it back into coming back, sort of touch on what they want.
They had
They'll have had conversation. But again, this is where if they've got downtime, like, and they're kind of skating around, oh, should we just go get a drink? That's where you can like go get a drink and brainstorm.
Yeah.
And actually throw
ideas
ideas
I think,
around.
like Tasty said, what do you do at 7 o'clock? They've never had a 7 o'clock in the evening before.
That's
true.
Start
of service, mate. Like
when I got out of like retail and hospitality after about 15 years,
having a weekend to yourself.
Oh, dude.
Mate, when I was like gone from that to now like my current work, and I was like about 8 till 4. I didn't have a fucking clue what to do for like evenings. I still don't. I still just like
go to the pub, I guess. Yeah, it's a lot of
Dude,
it's such a shock to the system.
I mean, I've been sick for like forever now, for like 3 weeks. I'm gonna tell you something right now. If I was still in that job I was in years ago, I would have been to work, miserable, falling out. I mean, couldn't talk to customers for coughing because that was the guy I was. because I was company first, company last. I'm gonna tell you, man. After getting out of that, I think the rule of thumb is something like 6 months to deprogram an individual, whether it's a cult, or an abusive relationship or whatever, where you've been like intimidated and manipulated. 6 months to a year to deprogram. And I'm telling you, I look back on those days like I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I did it without ending up at the hospital with pneumonia half the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, I was the same when I was working at supermarkets. I very, very rarely had a day off.
No, never. Yeah, for sure.
Not never two in a row, anyway.
Certainly for being sick. Like, I think the only time I actually had time off was where I'd had to like literally go to the hospital. Otherwise, I'd be in.
Yeah, for sure. The silence is both welcomed and weird, is what I've got down, because it is. And he, like you said, Jay, he's staring at the chef's jacket, and we hear "New Noise" by Refused is playing, and
that was
Carm gets
on the first episode of season 1.
I don't know. I don't recognize the title or the band.
It was that was definitely on an episode, on something in the first season, because I recognized the riff. I was like, oh yeah, that's off another episode. It's either episode 1 or episode 2.
It's not familiar to me, but you might be right.
Let me have a look. I've got it here. It's exciting. Apparently, it features in like 6 episodes. So
I was going to say,
it might be a refrain that they use for like moments of.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
the
it is in the first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it wasn't the full song. It was just the riff.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
But apparently, from what I've just seen on IMDb, it features in 6 episodes throughout the entire run.
I think, if I remember rightly, it was when Carmy was either they were about to open the restaurant, and Carmy was looking at the clock, or it was when Carmy was about to make the spaghetti and then just went, fuck this, and threw it up.
Threw
it away.
Right.
I need to rewatch the first episode, but it was definitely, as I say, I definitely heard that one. Oh, that's a nice little throwback.
Right, for sure. Well, he ends up back at the restaurant because, like you guys said, what's he got to do? And Sugar and Sydney are already back.
Well, I thought that this was the morning.
No,
I think it went back that night.
I think it's dark when he arrives, so it could be early morning. But I assume he's just gone, I've got nothing else to do. I'll go and clean or something. Because what else am I going to do? Watch telly, enjoy myself. But they're both already there, and they're like, right, 6 months is too long.
Yeah.
And then we get a montage of Post-it notes.
Yeah, he said we got to reopen ASAP, and you see on the note every second counts on the wall. I think that was up in season 1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure. I know it does.
Possibly,
it becomes a thing.
It becomes something you feature in the restaurant. Like they keep that up in the kitchen, don't they?
Yeah.
As it goes forward, and I think so. Looking at the big board, they've got the time frame down to 3 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
3 full months, and that's heavily compressed.
Yeah, because it's
if one thing goes wrong, I think the whole.
Yeah, because it kind of establishes, doesn't it, that it's around the 1st of March this episode, and that the opening date's the 31st of May.
Sis says this is a terrible idea. Sugar and Carm both nod in agreement. It's great. Sis like, cool, okay, good, yeah, all right, just making sure. Yeah, the date that's been circled is the 31st, and we assume that's not too far away. Yeah. Before we hit final thoughts, I got to say, I freaking love this episode. And like,
that was brilliant.
Not just because Richie wasn't screaming like a madman, but I just feel like so much heavy lifting was done in season 1 to get us to this point. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. What do you guys think? Final thoughts. What do you guys think, man? What you got, Jay?
So, like, I interestingly, the way you kind of, you guys said that you felt like season 1 could have just been its own standalone thing, and then this opens as the Bear 2. It does almost feel like it's a sequel more in the sense of like a film sequel than a TV show season 2. that makes sense
Yeah.
from this, like where it's kind of like picking up where the characters left off and sort of the aftermath of like the last scene of the previous show. It definitely feels like that first season could have just been initially thought out as a one-off and let's see what happens. But I thought it did a great job of kind of like establishing the direction people are going in, and it sort of made me feel that Richie, Tina, and Marcus are going to be like the kind of like three big characters for this season, and that you need to kind of like watch, like similar to the way Ted Lasso done, where the first two episodes kind of established these people are going to be pivotal to this season. It very much felt the same, and I'm full of dread of where it's going to go. As I said at the start, it felt like it was kind of like a black cloud, like coming in. When you can see like on the horizon, oh, storm's coming in. That's what it felt like this episode, and I feel like the next couple, I'm just going to be ripping my hair out again.
Speaking of storm, I like that you said that. We've said it a couple of different times here, but like, it does feel like that these folks together, for lack of a better term, have gone through trauma. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's like when a group of people have come through something and they can be civil and it's like in the calm after, like you said. I mean, it feels like there's definitely a connection now, more so in season one for sure. You know? Joe, what do you got?
Yeah, it's kind of a change of pace for the Bear, because it's not aggressively yelling at each other. This is very, very light and quippy and fast. And I'm not against it, but like Jay said, the Bear does do like peaks and troughs of incredibly stressful, fun episode. Back into hell. Oh yeah, here we go. And I feel like this is the setup to badness. But it's been nice to get back on them. And I think I genuinely can't remember this season because it's been that long since I've seen it. So it is fun sort of rewatching it with fresh eyes.
Yeah, same. I haven't seen it in a while either, honestly. Not since the first watch, honestly.
It's my second time through.
What do you think, Tacey? What do you think about this one?
Yeah, so this feels a bit like like a bit of a reset almost. It sort of like hits the button, and like we sort of, it's a very different, like I said, it's a very different vibe from like where we are in the first season. I don't quite think we ever see that level of internal dysfunction again that we see in season one, and I think that's obviously because everyone's sort of gelling a bit better. Everyone sort of likes each other a bit more. We don't, even like Richie, he's never quite at the level of dickheadedness that he is in season one. He has his moments, but what we see now is, I think it's more of external stresses and factors now. So the issue is now not, will the restaurant fall apart during service? It's, can we pay back this outrageous loan that we've taken? That becomes the new sort of new sort of big sort of impending doom, doesn't it? That sort of follows everybody around. And this is without going into too many spoilers, this is going to be a season about sort of personal growth for a lot of the characters. People are going to be put into situations where they're going to have to grow and improve and change. And we see some of that in this episode. Like, Tina is very excited about becoming a sous chef, which is great. Richie's terrified about anything changing, which is Richie. Sydney's taking a step up, Tina's taking a step up. Marcus, he's already expressed this real desire, but at the same time, you see, they show you early on, Marcus has got a lot of things going on outside of work. He's got a lot of stress in his life. How's that going to affect him in the restaurant? What this
Marcus is like when he can't focus.
Exactly. What this show does, and I think what the show, it sort of strikes it a bit in this first episode, is it shows that like you need to have, what it tries to stress is that you need to have a work-life balance, and like Carmy doesn't, like terminally doesn't, like, and that becomes a big, no spoilers, that kind of becomes a big problem.
Oh man, yeah,
no shit.
And I think what it shows, what this season tries to show, what this episode sort of sets up, is that people are going to have to sort of work out how much of themselves they want to put into this, and how much of themselves it's healthy to put into this.
Yeah.
And I think that's the really interesting thing that I think is they're going to explore going through this season.
Jay, thoughts on Tasty's statement that things aren't quite as they were season one? Aren't you just gonna miss all of that, Jay? Be honest. You didn't need the hair. You wanted to get rid of it, right? Come on.
Yeah. I can't wait to have an existential crisis like Richie watching the show. But
wait until you get to fishes. That's
I've seen it on this season and I'm just panicking already because you keep saying fishes. So
man,
I've only watched it once and it took me 2 sittings to get through it because I had to go and just walk the dog just to clear my own brain out. Because yeah,
you'll find out.
Yeah, I think as Tasty said, last season was more about getting everyone kind of like on the same page. Now it's kind of like everyone as a team tackling the genuine like stress of starting a new venture. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but I am.
Yeah, it'll be a different kind of chaos. Guys, maybe you can back me up. It'll be more sporadic than season one, whereas season one was consistently you wanted to go find a wall and bash your head into it. This one's kind of random, I think, here and there. And you're like, oh, that's the instigator. There's one person who is definitely the instigator.
So what you're saying is season one's like an airstrike and season two's a bit more like minefield.
Yes.
It's more targeted bombing. Yeah.
Or targeted carpet bomb. Yeah. Well, there's one agent of chaos, such an agent of chaos in season two that Nick Fury's got nothing on this person. I'm telling you, it's insane.
Is it Richie?
I'm not telling you anything.
Don't tell me, but it's probably Richie.
Jay's going to find out with the rest of you out there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, there you have it, kids. There is episode 1 of season 2 of The Bear. We appreciate you folks hanging out with us. As we said at the intro of this here episode, we appreciate you subscribing to Boink Studios on the YouTube, visiting boinkstudios.com, and for hanging out with us here today, checking out all the podcasts we have available, checking out all the podcasts of these three gentlemen you see before you and myself. Thank you for sharing the show. Please continue to do so. If you know anybody that enjoys The Bear and would like to follow this as watch along, they're welcome to do so. We'd love to have them on board. Please hit us in the comments. Let us know what you think. And stay tuned, man. We got a lot more to come. Long season ahead, and then we're going to keep churning away until we've got this entire series wrapped up. So we're in it for the long haul. We hope you guys are too. And that's going to do it for us. Come back next week for season 2, episode 2. And as I said, we keep churning away. But for now, for Tom, for Big Tasty, for Joe and Jay, we'll see you next time, kids.